the rapid hair growth on many of the executive vice presidents continued in the next segment. Poor Tony Schiavone. He has to get in and out of the ring a lot. I wonder if they're ribbing him. Probably trying to blow him up. This time, he's got an interview in the ring. Kenny Olivier with no Don. Where was Don Callis? He wasn't there at all. Wasn't even a gimmick. He just wasn't there.
Scarlet fever.
I hope he gets some antibiotics for that. But now, apparently, Kenny Olivier has the Triple H sideburns going into the mustache. Remember that from 20 years ago when Triple H used to do it?
I remember when Ole Anderson used to do it.
That's, actually, you're right. But it just that Kenny Olivier looks so little like Ole Anderson in any way. I got to be honest with you. The first thing when I saw him walk out, I said, he has glued pubic hair to his face. And then I started wondering whose pubic hair it was. Are they trying to look stupid instead of heat getting? Is this heat to the modern audience? Is it heat like, you have silly hair, I'm going to hate you? Is that where, because they're all so fucking easy to offend these days.
There is no heat. There is no heat. I mean,
if you're a modern person, one of these modern people that we hear about, that apparently a lot of these wrestlers are, that like to sit there and stare at their phone and stare into space and have no personality, to offend people, will that do it? Is that like me? You got funny hair.
No, it doesn't do it.
These days?
Has facial hair ever been more socially acceptable than it is today in the last 100 years? Probably not. I don't think that's the issue.
Then why are they growing funny-looking hair to act like heels?
I think the problem is, and again, Omega's another one of these guys, although we'll talk about the promo in a minute, where, like the Bucks, kind of, okay, he's a heel. All you got to do is just turn the switch, make him heel. But now he's become so cartoonish and over the top, and I think all the facial hair are just these guys, the Bucks and Omega. Even if you're one of their big fans and you enjoy their matches, you can't tell me that they are in any way believable in any fashion as the wrestling characters they portray. And they're just being goofy and silly because they think this is what wrestling is. And this is all they could do. They can't all of a sudden just come out there and be serious people and have anyone care about them at all. So they're putting on these Nickelodeon or Disney Channel heel characters, and they're all silly, and it comes across silly.
You're proving my point for me. I said a long time ago, the reason why that the Bucks and Olivier and a few of these others do what they do is because they cannot get over the right way, the proper way, the regular way, by being good at what they do. They can't be believable, kick-ass personalities that people want to pay to see unless they do all the cheerleading and the flipping and have their own referee and make up their own rules and do all that shit. And then they get some subset of the populace to support them for that. But no, they're the only way that they get over is by making the profession that they are in look like a goddamn clown show. That's how they get over, and it ruins it for everybody else that actually has the talent to do things the proper way. And speaking of which, having the talent to do things the proper way, since there was no Don Callis, we got the full, breathy phone sex delivery, the whole outfit dressed like he's on the board of directors of a massage parlor, the dramatic, emoting like he's, in front of the footlights. And basically, he said no one is left to challenge him, so his work is done, and he's going to take time off. And I started to cheer for the first time something that he said. He was going to take time off. And then here comes the dork order. Think about this now, folks. This is supposedly the world champion of this company, the most protected belt in wrestling. And he has to stand there. Shivani's disappeared by this point, and he has to stand there while 7 of these discount, interchangeable, substandard, great value brand job guys come out with Pizzeria Uno leading the charge, speaking in his best high school growl, when when you're a kid whose voice hasn't changed yet with puberty, but you want everybody to know you're serious, you kind of keep it like that. That's what he was doing. And they suggest that Adam Page should get a shot. So Adam Page, the rising star babyface, has a bunch of job guys coming out and do his talking and his challenging for him. And by the way, did you notice that Pizzeria Uno's suit jacket looked like he'd had it stored in his wallet for the past 3 days? He was a human wrinkle.
I did not notice that.
I couldn't take my eyes off. I mean, it's not like the jacket was just wrinkled. It's like the fucking lapels. And I mean, I've had a lot of suit jackets dry cleaned, and those lapels, they get stiff and they won't bend. And it was all over the place. It was like he was wearing a goddamn handkerchief from somebody's back pocket. Anyway, Olivier just blows him off, bids him adieu, turns his back on him, and does his thing. And I say to you, good night. And then does his finger bang. Bang! Like it was a fucking mic drop by Chris Rock, and the people farted at it. It wasn't even a good fart. It was a popcorn fart. It was a goddamn asparagus fart. It didn't even make any noise. It just stunk. And they played his music, and he walked off. Horrible. Horrible laid out, horrible material, horrible people involved in it. This is the world champion in their company, and they're interacting. He's interacting with these people. Comments?
Yeah, I got some comments, but first I have a question. I've never thought of this before, and I've never asked this question of anyone. We all know of asparagus pea, but do asparagus farts, is that a thing? Asparagus farts?
I get them.
You get... Oh, I don't want to go too deep into this.
Pea is bad, but asparagus fart and also chocolate farts.
What? Well,
I get chocolate farts.
I don't want to hear about whatever your chocolate farts are.
If I eat a lot of chocolate after dinner or whatever I eat, then I get a fart that smells like whatever I ate for dinner covered in chocolate.
All right. Well,
I can fart the first part of a Three Musketeers bar while I'm chewing the last. That's how chocolate hits me, right? But I don't do a lot of chocolate. It's got caffeine in it.
There's about to be some chocolate vomit over here in New Jersey. But back to the segment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you here in one sense. I thought this was the best Omega promo I've seen in the States. I thought, you know, he comes across douchey and everything, and he was doing that somewhat well. Now, look, he's doing it against the Dark Order. So It's not like you could sit down and take this seriously. It's all a show and it's all silliness. I actually thought this was one of the stronger Omega promos ever. I'm not saying it was great, and I'm not saying he's a good heel or a realistic heel, but out of all the promos I've heard from him, I thought this may have been the best one in AEW.
Of all the promos I've heard from this may have been the best one.
And this was the most recent, yes.
Yes, this was this was certainly one of them. Well, that's like being the nicest guy in prison.